FC all set to take on Kashi in a swashbuckling contest. And of course, both the teams will have to batten up their hatches, considering the fact that they are ailing pretty much in the bottom half of the points table, particularly Kashi. They have made a very good side, and yet in that first season of theirs, they have had a few questionable starts. But then again, knowing Neroca FC's antiquity, they are a side that can produce pretty high-octane performances. Well, that is the dressing room of Neroca FC. They are all set to don those signature orange threads. They will be playing under the Malaysian coach Jacob M.J. Joseph. And he's the man leading the charge. We had a quick word with him. We'll try and show you, or we'll try and hear what he had to say ahead of this important fixture.
Okay, I hope this game in the Kashi is, at least we must get a point. Because this is home ground, then we must get a point. Last game is our away game, we got a 3 point. I hope they will play the same game, tactical what we play against Delhi FC. I hope they can play the same rhythm. I know they are tired because every game we come back and just be training 2 days. I hope the players recover. I mean, today's game is very important because home game, we get 3 points, then our position is better, standing is better.
Now moving on to the newcomers, Kashi. That's their dressing room, and of course the epicenter of all the chaos and frenzy. And they are being led by Carlos Javier Santamarina from the sidelines. And of course, he had a very crucial point to make.
All the games are difficult in this league. One more away game for us. Long travel from Kolkata by bus, and a good team in front of us. We lost the last 2 games, but I think the team is ready, and we will fight like we used to do all the games till the end, and I hope to win the 3 points today. Welcome. Bye.
Well, we all heard the 2 big men talking about a few crucial objectives for both the sides, and now to take you further through the tale of this wonderful and incredible evening, I have alongside me another wonderful gentleman, Shatadru, joining me in the commentary box. Good evening, Shatadru. What do you think is going to be the complexion of this fixture?
Good evening, Rohit. Thank you for having me here once again today. It certainly is a clash, as we can call it, right at the bottom of the table, but these teams, as we see the lineup, has Saiful Rahman, Simbo, Balwinder, Mitai, Taruk, local boy, Sojal Bagh, Tangwa, Singh, Bogdan and Kroma also leading that lineup. So we have a few Bengal connection here, and Sojal Bagh, Taruk, Hemram and Kroma will know these conditions at the palm of their hands, and they will look to take full advantage of this Neroca FC to put it past Kashi, who themselves are a very formidable side with, as you can see on your screen, Arindam Bhattacharya. There's some stalwarts in that lineup as well. So it certainly fascinates me, and I don't want to predict a result because this is going to be a humdinger.
You're talking about Bengal connections, and the very next moment the camera panned out to Arindam Bhattacharya, and that's a starting 11 for Kashi. Watch out for Arindam. Of course, the big name of Peter Hartley, Sumit Pasi, Bijoy V has also dovetailed himself perfectly into this unit. And alongside that, the striker right up front, Lamela, is going to play a crucial role. Another important name that should be talked about, of course, I reckon, given the fact that you yourself are a promoter of young footballers. We'll get back to that, though. That's the officials for the day. We have got Lingdo Nongam and then Subrat Purohit taking care of this matchup as officials. And yes, coming back to the young name, Gyamar Nikum will be the one to watch out for, don't you think so?
Oh, absolutely. I was most excited to see him in the first 11. I saw him 2 years back when he was a 17-year-old, the youngest in the I-League, and he was flying straight for Rajasthan United. My God, he set the I-League alive when he scored a few stunners in that, and he was taking players on. He had no fear on those young shoulders. He's certainly a force to reckon with, and this is the first time I'm going to actually see him after a long time. I would love to see how much he's developed. It's great to see a youngster of that caliber making it to the first 11, and that shows that he's certainly matured and progressed, and that holds Indian football in good stead.
Absolutely. I mean, we always have known that I-League has been the cradle of Indian football. I mean, again, not taking anything away from the other leagues that we see these days, talking about Indian Super League, I-League Division 2. Of course, they are the breeding grounds for the monsters who are all set to take Indian football by storm. But I-League has provided that transition that we look around in players. And you mentioned Gyamar Nikum. This time's I-League, even for Mohammedan Sporting, we have seen the likes of David Hamar, who's come all the way from the ranks of Calcutta Football League. So obviously there are a few exciting talents who have also taken the yard in this year's I-League. Another couple of names that you mentioned back while we were looking at the playing 11 of Neroca FC, one of them is Sajal Bagh, and the other one of them is, of course, another big name, Tarak Hemram. They have been a part of the Indian playing circuit for a while. How do you think, or what do you think their introduction with the Neroca FC, how will it change their game, particularly now that we are in Kalyani?
I think firstly it's great to see them on the biggest stage of Indian football, and certainly like I told you that they would know the conditions at the Kalyani Municipal Stadium. This is their practice grounds when they plied their trade for United Sports. And Steve on the other day in the studio was also mentioning these two. They are some of the best Bengal talents that we've had in a long time, and it shows. They've been consistent in their performances, and I think that's gonna really pump these boys up, and they'll have some local support, and they want to show what they're made of here at the biggest stage of Indian football. This doesn't get better for both those players out there, Sajal Bagh and like we mentioned, beg your pardon, Tarak Hemram. So Tarak Hemram and Sajal Bagh both have been stars in the Calcutta Football League, but we've rarely seen them in a stage where they can go even higher. Like you mentioning, as we led up to that conversation, that I-League has been a breeding ground for some of the biggest teams. Who knows, some of these ISL teams will be looking at a lot of these youngsters in the years coming forward, and this is like, and I had an interesting conversation 2 years back with Igor Stimac. I had the honor of interviewing him in that final between Mohammedan Sporting and Gokulam Kerala at Salt Lake Stadium, and there was a very important match that was taking place a few days later leading up to that final. Was a match between the I-League All-Stars and the Indian All-Stars, and that really is something that Igor Stimac was looking forward to select those youngsters who play in the I-League and come and like show their talent. So Gyamar Nikum, Tarak Hemram, Sajal Bagh, this is a big opportunity for them.
Absolutely, and we'll get back to that conversation for sure. Attacking on your frame from the right to the left, dressed in their signature and flamboyant orange is Neroca FC, and attacking on your frame from the left to the right, the visitors into Kashi. You were talking about the Bengal connections, you're talking about Igor Stimac. I personally believe Igor Stimac has made quite a few changes to the Indian side, the way they play. Here's a chance. It looked around for Inter Kashi, but it looks like they have infringed that offside rule. Now getting back to Stimac, well, of course we have seen under the chaperonage of Stimac, we have seen quite a few youngsters coming to age, and not that they have been very immature, they have plied their trade with flying colors. And even today, now that India is planning to take the next big thing, we saw how they went on to showcase themselves in the brightest of colors of late. Let's just hope that Igor Stimac can bring in that massive change that we are looking forward to. For a moment, I felt that maybe and just maybe Inter Kashi will have an early opening.
And there you see that excitement of Gyamar Nikum, how quickly he closes down David Simbo on that occasion for Neroca FC, and that's what these exciting talented youngsters can do, that they hurry you up and they're never going to back down from an absolutely worldly challenge it may be, but they're here to showcase what they're made of. But coming back to Igor's team match, as this ball rolls out for another goal kick, as we see the Neroca coach, he must be wondering a little bit about how his defense has been working. 4-0 up in the last match against Delhi FC. Turned into an absolutely exhilarating battle as the cross comes in from Gyamar Nukum. And once again, that was not a bad one, that was beautifully watched. Here we come again with Neroca FC trying to keep possession, trying to control this early pressing, the early high intensity pressing from Inter Kashi as we see it. And I think that's going to be how Inter Kashi face this team. Neroca, they're trying to put that defense under pressure. But so far Neroca have done well to control it. But here comes Gyamar Nikum. Once again the pressing telling the tale as so far.
Gyamar Nikum is an absolute live wire. No matter where he plays, he can be... Oh, this can be a lovely chance. Here comes the cross opportunity for Inter Kashi. Repelled away. There comes another rebound. Unfortunately, the shot was not on target. Could have tested the goalkeeper of Neroca FC early on. It was Santosh Singh who's manning the stakes today. Kind of stunned there. Almost reacted pretty late, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think Inter Kashi are turning it on here, having lost their last two encounters, two very big encounters against Mohammedan Sporting and Real Kashmir, losing 2-0 to the Black and White Brigade and Real Kashmir. The Snow Leopards putting it across, absolutely thrashing them, and that could have probably led to a lack in confidence, but I think they want to turn it around today. And Inter Kashi are showing some real intent in the opening 5 minutes or so.
I'm pretty sure that the coach, Carlos Santamarina, he must have had a prolonged discussion, particularly with this man in frame, Peter Hartley. He's someone who can actually build from the back. This can be a good chance here. Once again, coming in from the left this time, tried to go for that cross, but that was intercepted, which will set... well, not exactly, because Inter Kashi, Gyamar Nikum trying to latch on to it, but good interception. Crucial one coming in from Rakesh Mitay.
And getting back to the discussion that I was having with you about the Indian team, Igor's team match, like you said, are getting a lot of these youngsters a chance right now as this ball comes in from Peter Hartley. Beautifully played in by Gyamar Nikum, looking for a penalty, but the referee says nothing doing as Mario Villar is looking for a penalty. That's a beautifully floated ball, but that's well done as well from the defender. He was following the ball, Mario Villar. Just a little bit of a shove on Balwinder Singh, who goes to ground and gets the free kick. But coming back to that discussion that we were having about giving youngsters a chance in the Indian team, I think Indian football certainly is going through a transition phase towards his almost end days, Sunil Chhetri. I think that is going to be the biggest transition in Indian football as we had ever seen, because Sunil Chhetri was already there as Chroma we see on the ground asking the referee for a foul. But Paichung Bhutia, when we had that transition, Sunil Chhetri was already ready, but we're still looking for that one proper solution right at the top. I think otherwise the Indian team is doing pretty well, is setting themselves up pretty well. But on that note, we see a yellow card which has been shown to Ansuman Chroma for dissent, and that's something you don't want to see, especially in the opening 5 minutes of the encounter.
Well, Shatadru, since you mentioned Sunil Chhetri, and since you mentioned that probably once Sunil Chhetri decides to hang his boots, I have this question. I think it's a question for everyone. Whom do you think is going to be successor? If you would ask me, I have one name. We'll get back to that though. Enter Kashi trying to chip in from the left. And it looks like they'll settle all the way back. And yes, for me, if you ask me, the name on my mind will definitely be Shan Pandita. Whom do you think can be the big man?
I think for me there are quite a few options, but lately I have probably changed my mind seeing Manveer Singh play as a right wing back as well. So that's probably changed my opinion a bit, but he's been scoring goals. He scored a very good goal recently for India, so he is a very explosive striker. He's a talented guy himself, Manveer Singh. But certainly someone I definitely look forward to, correct me if I'm getting the name right, is Gurvinder Singh, who plays for Mumbai City FC on his left foot. He's a youngster, very exciting, is not at all afraid to take on players, and he's got a thunderous left foot on him.
Another name that I'd really like to add on, but to be honest, I think it'll be a bit too early to use that name because he's just played Calcutta League. So of course, to reach to those ranks will take him some time. Well, this can be the warning bells. There comes the volley, could have been better. The connection was slightly sour there, kind of blunting the aggression of Neroca FC. It was Tarak Hembram. We know Tarak Hembram can be a danger man if he gets into the groove.
Oh, that was a fantastic effort. He just kind of got away, a little lucky on that ball, but there comes Neroca being a little hard and physical on those Kashi players, and he didn't like that tackle, did he, Lamela? And he was not holding back from his expressions. Here comes Hartley, player from United Kingdom. Very rarely we see a United Kingdom player playing in the I-League. Last time we saw there was quite a bit of successful player in the Real Kashmir forward, Robertson. What a player he was! What a stint he had at Real Kashmir. And now Real Kashmir is going through a little bit of a transformation themselves from those father-son duo.
When you talk about UK players, there's another name that I'll always remember. That is John Johnson. He had Johnson can wait for now because Gyamar Nikum has another chance, and it looks like that cross didn't really have the desired connection. And what a player has he been, and particularly today. I mean, he started the first game as well. He was sensational. Look at this one. I mean, it was not easy because he took it on the turn, so the ball was going away from him. He had to balance himself and then scoop that ball in. So perfectly done. And yeah, getting back to the Real Kashmir discussion, obviously, or the UK defenders discussion, John Johnson was another big name. We know his contributions for Bengaluru FC. But then eventually in that I-League matchup, there comes another lovely chance from Neroca. But Peter Hartley, once again, the heart of the Kashi defense, and eventually it looks like David Simbo. He has a connection. It's not really David Simbo, apologies for the same. Oh, it is David Simbo, apologies again. But yeah, David Simbo, he has a personal connection with Mars, so he shot one for them as well.
that was a defender's shot. We can give that. We can cut a little bit of slack in that. But here come Kashi once again in possession. And we see the right wing from both the teams being very active here. Tarak Hembram for Kashi. Sorry, beg your pardon. Tarak Hembram for Neroca FC, and Gyamar Nikum down the right hand side as Kashi come forward. The shot comes in, this time from Vikasya Singh on his left foot. He saw a little bit of space and his eyes lit up on that occasion. He decides to take it on, but doesn't quite catch it the right way, and it flies over the goal of Santosh Singh as that ball goes out for another throw-in. As Kashi look to regain possession with Bijoy Hartley.
Bijoy V, he's been pretty decent alongside Peter Hartley. Had a bit of a rough outing in the first game. That's another lovely cross. In fact, a crossfield ball, but that time there wasn't any player. David Simbo on the ball once again, comes all the way back today, leading the Neroca side. Not really the best of passes. And to be honest, Kashi couldn't really capitalize on that either.
A little lazy in possession there, the captain David Simbo. Just allows himself to get under pressure, and Vikasya Singh was having none of it as Kashi come here once again, takes the effort! Not a bad effort at all from Edmund Lalrindika. But somehow they're shooting off target even after creating such good space for themselves. A little bit of quality lacking in those shot-taking abilities over there. Edmund Lalrindika did brilliantly to skip past 2 challenges, but must hit the target once he did that.
Well, I think he's just getting into the groove as well. He's a very young player. Now, the question is, of course, when you're so young, you have this tendency to try and test yourself from range. Bogdan Gavrila, he didn't really start in the first 2 games, came on as substitutes, but his inclusion to the side kind of changed the complexion of Neroca FC. But today, he's been kept silent once again. A bit of a tussle between Bijoy and Bogdan, and it looks like Bijoy had the last laugh.
The referee was very close to the action there. I mean, he had nothing doing. He just allowed play to continue, and this is Gyamar Nukum again skipping past the first challenge. But Neroca defenders very, very close as well, doing well so far. That's a beautiful ball forward, but Chroma has been flagged offside. Another man to look forward to, and someone who knows the goal so well, especially at the Kalyani Stadium, is Ansuman Chroma.
Absolutely, he's played for giants in Indian football. He's been there for a while, and most importantly, as you pointed out, knowing the goal so well. Alongside that, what he brings to the plate is his creativity, because he's someone who always watches out for the ball pretty well, and also collaborates with his partner, whoever his striking partner is. That is his biggest strength. But that's a lovely snatch. This can be a goal scoring chance. Here comes the shot, and somehow that's not hit the target. I'm pretty sure Jordan Lamela will not really be forgiving to himself. But Kashi still keeps on knocking on the doors.
I believe he said he didn't hit the target. I believe that is an absolutely astounding save from Santosh Singh. As you see, that is absolutely fantastic work from the young goalkeeper. Lamela cannot believe that he hasn't scored, because it's probably one of the top studs of Santosh Singh, which has kept Kashi from scoring the first goal of the game.
Oh yeah, from this angle it looked like he's missed his target, but he didn't. And kudos to Santosh Singh. He started the game ahead of Soram Meitei, so that means something for sure. But Kashi at the moment, they are indomitable. And the way they are coming, the way they are deluging the opposition from that right wing, I mean, that has been absolutely brilliant to watch.
Absolutely, as Neroca takes this throw in, didn't quite understand his target man on that occasion. But getting back to Gyamar Nikum over here, just so exciting to watch him. He's always trying to find that creativity. As you see the staff of Kashi, and there is a certain gentleman you would know decently when you talk about Indian football, is Izumi Arata. As that ball comes in, and another header that goes wide from Mario Villar, another cross that comes in from the right hand side, and that was Sumit Basi, who himself knows a lot about Indian football. That is a brilliantly floated ball, and Mario Villar, the Spanish forward, should be doing better on that occasion.
I mean, that was a gilt-edged opportunity served on a silver platter, to be honest. You've got a free header, you've got it within your range, you should have pegged it 6 feet under into the back of the net. And yes, you were talking about Izumi Arata. Well, another sensational footballer, donned the Indian threads as well. This looks like Kashi can have an opportunity, trying to make their way from the left, and both the players flying there. Edmund Lalrindika, alongside him another big name that kind of took flight. once again, we'll try and show you how it really happened. Oh yeah, come on. All right, that was kind of a wrestling move where both came together. So it was Safiul Rahman who took flight for Neroca FC but eventually grounded himself on his knees.
Yeah, he seems to be fine. That's the good news for Neroca, as David Simbo looks to take this free kick and get things going for Neroca. Neroca really haven't threatened the Inter-Kashi goal yet. It's been all Inter-Kashi in the opening exchanges of the first 17 odd minutes that have been played here at the Kalyani Municipal Stadium. But we see Ansuman Kroma falling back as that ball comes from David Simbo, and that's exactly what we were talking about. Arindam Bhattacharya has been quite comfortable in goal, as Ansuman Kroma, because he's not getting that supply, he's withdrawing himself into that midfield. And you see, whenever he has the ball, he's trying to make space, but he just doesn't seem to have an option to pass to, because he's doing brilliantly with his close control, as we all know he can. But this could be an exception with Taro Kemram. Exciting talent down the right hand side.
Look at how Tarab Hemram is cruising down that central channel. That tells you how good he is. This time though, not really a smile for Neroca FC. It looks like Bogdan couldn't really control the ball from going out. But talking about Tarak Hemram, he's someone who's known the Indian football circuit, and he's someone who's always having an eye for those shots coming in from the right, those crosses. And again, don't be fooled by his diminutive stature. He's an absolute live wire. He's a pocket dynamite.
And I'm sure in the Bengal circuit, those three, Tarok Hemram, Shajul Bag and Ansuman Kroma, have played a lot of football together.
Well, since we're talking about the Bengal connections, one name that should be talked about, he hasn't been into action today yet. That is Arindam Bhattacharya. He's been manning the Indian football circuit for almost a decade and more now. And he is someone, he's probably one of the best shot stoppers that India has got. That's poorly done by Peter Hartley. I mean, someone of Peter Hartley's stature, it's expected to do better. I think he's not happy with what Carlos Santa Marina has to say. A few of those times, a few of those moments where dissents with coaches are palpable.
Oh, absolutely. And the most palpable ones come with the likes of Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola. The best of coaches around the world demand the best from the best of their players, and that's when sometimes come, but they get it along at the end of the day. If all's well that ends well, they say. And as that cross comes in, we were talking about Arindam Bhattacharya, a married man now, looking to still show what he's hardest amongst a lot of these youngsters that he's around, that he's surrounded by. He's one of the hardest workers in there, as we see from the right hand side. Sumit Pasi goes down. He is looking for a free kick, almost clutching his face, but it was almost an accidental flailing arm from Rakesh, and he almost made it out to be his nose was bleeding.
Sumit Pasi is another young talent who's been there for a few years now, and of course he was expecting that maybe if he could have done better. We all expected so, but nonetheless he's doing still pretty decent for himself. If he can continue doing what he's doing, he will definitely be back in the ISL echelons. Not, I mean, like in very quick, in very short succession, but at the end of the day he'll have to keep on doing what he's doing. That has been one concern for Sumit Pasi. One of them is of course injuries. The other one is his consistency.
Absolutely, and the I-League here, especially with a team like Inter-Kashi, a new team coming into the I-League in a corporate structure, what an opportunity for Sumit Pasi to make his name once again and show what his name was being named in those early years, a few years back in Indian football.
Safiul Rahman given the yellow card there. David Simbo with a push on Marco Villar, but then this is where the yellow card came in, kicked him from the back, swept him off his feet, literally. I mean, not out of admiration for sure, out of admiration for the ball maybe. So yeah, it's just... But nonetheless, again, getting back to the game, and yeah, you're talking about, given the fact that Inter-Kashi is a new side, so of course someone like Sumit Pasi, he'll play a very crucial role. There's another big name on the bench of Kashi that I'd really like to see in action, and that is Jackie Chan Singh. Here comes the free kick opportunity for Kashi, and a timely intervention there from Neroca FC denies the men in blue from going 1-0 up in this match.
David Singh with the clearance, and there was a little bit of a pinball in the penalty box as Sumit Pasi tries to take a long throw in. Will he or will he look to go short? Looking for options, plays it down, gets it back, tries to play the cross in, and that's where his talent lies in. And he's not been doing a bad job with that. David Simbo with the headed clearance, and here come Neroca on the counter attack. Taro Kembram plays it back. Well, the referee has pulled it back for a free kick. Has he? Because the play has continued. Very interesting. Taro Kembram once again down the right hand side, looking to chase that ball down from David Simbo, but just runs out of play. It's Peter Hartley on the ball.
Shatadru, if one thing that I've watched about Neroca today is somehow these two players, that is Sajal Bagh and Tangwa, they haven't been involved at all, because what they are trying to do is, what Neroca is trying to do is, they are creating those long chips forward. So they are completely ignoring this couple of players who can actually be wonderful for their team. Do you think there's a bit of lack of confidence, or is it just a strategy that they are using for those long balls?
I think a lot of credit goes to Kashi manager Carlos as well, because you see that little bit of a diamond formation and the pressing that those Kashi players are doing, because Lamela has gone more central and Guillermo Nikum is the one who's gone into that right hand side, and Edwin Ral Rindika has stuck to his left. So that extra midfielder with Lamela going in with Julian Perez, Vikasya Singh and Nikum Kumar, they're manning and pressing those midfielders. Sajal Bagh doesn't have any space whatsoever to work with at this point in time. This is absolutely brilliant from Kashi. They're outplaying them in that midfield, and whenever they get an inch of space, they're doubling up on them.
Very rightly and very explained in a very detailed manner. I think that is probably what even the audience would be wondering. So was Marco Villar has gone down a few moments ago. He was inches within a scoring chance, but another crucial save that stalled him from scoring. And looking at Neroca FC, somehow or the other, at the moment they are just chasing shadows. That looks nasty, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. David Simbo, I think he's got to be careful here, and that's not needed at all. It certainly looked that he wanted to make Mario Villar feel that, look buddy, you're not going to get past here, feel my presence. And he could have done that by just being there. He's a big man himself. He didn't need to put that elbow in. The referee must have seen that, and as that ball comes in, there was a flying Kashi player going towards the ball, but that has evaded every single person in the box and gone out for a throw-in.
Well, a Friday evening, and we can see fans coming in numbers. Maybe the stadium's not really chock-a-block at the moment, but then of course there are fans enjoying the game. What a better way, or what better way than to start your weekend than football, particularly if you're in Kalyani. Here comes Kashi once again. Now through the central channel, nicely set up onto the right. Yama Nikum once again. There comes the chip, and slightly miscued there. Could have actually dragged back some more. That would have allowed him to create the ball in a better position.
But I'll take you 10 seconds back. I'll get back to that, but again, he just probably sliced it over, never got around behind that ball to cross it in. But I'll just take you a few moments back as to where Sajal Bagh had the ball after a long time. And he was immediately closed down by two, and he lost the ball, and that was what led to that cross from Guillermo Nikum. This is so far just brilliant stuff from Kashi. They have absolutely dominated proceedings right from the onset of this match here at Kalyani Stadium.
You know, to be honest, this is where Jacob Joseph and Carlos Santamarina comes in. It looks like Carlos has done his job. He knows that the strength of Neroca can be in the midfield. This can be a chance for Kashi. There comes the shot flying in from Jordan Lamela. And it looks like we are going to have the first corner of the evening. as it takes a deflection and goes out of the field of play.
Look where David Simbo had to step up to cover for that enormous, gigantic hole of space that was there in that Neroca midfield. Right now, it's not working for Jacob Joseph as this corner comes in, takes it short, one straight from the training ground. As this ball comes in, it's been swung in but cleared on by Shajul Bagh on that occasion. The shot comes in a very, or rather a not very needed shot on that occasion. He could have played it down the wing, but he gets it back in possession for Inter Kashi over there. Vikasia Singh. This is Peter Hartley.
Well, once again, the kind of gameplay that we are witnessing now. This can be a lovely ball coming in all the way from the left. There comes the cross, goal scoring chance, and the opening goal of the evening. That is Inter Kashi coming to life.
That is absolutely brilliant combination play. And how smart was Gyamar Nikum to leave that ball for the cross to come in from the left, and you cannot say that was not coming for Inter Kashi. Neroca probably deserves to go down 1 goal on this occasion.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it. It was Jordan Lamela who found the back of the net. And once again, Gyamar Nikum showing his off-the-ball skills. That was a sensational delivery. And look at how the cross came in. Picture-perfect cross. And to be honest, a setup that had geometric precision tattooed all over it.
Oh, absolutely. Lamela wouldn't have put a foot wrong on that occasion. That was beautifully worked out by Inter Kashi, and you just cannot say that they didn't deserve this lead, and it was coming all along in this match. It took 28 minutes, but better late than never for Inter Kashi as they look to turn around proceedings from their last 2 encounters as they lead Neroca FC 1 goal to nil. As Neroca FC, they would consider this encounter a very important one. They're languishing 1 spot behind Inter Kashi, level on points, with Inter Kashi having a game in hand.
Well, of course, Inter Kashi, if they can secure those 3 points today, I think we'll see a change of the points table. That's another long ball. Question asked by David Simpo, snubbed by the linesman. This can be another goal-scoring chance. Lovely bit of footwork there, but I think he's taken a bit longer. Had he released the ball a fraction of a second earlier, maybe the result could have been something different.
As the cross comes in, once again, Neroca just doesn't look like they're going to step out of it unless it's Ansuman Kroma. Just look at that beautiful control from Ansuman Kroma. He's been a class apart whenever he has had the chance or the ball at his feet. He's shown his true class as he looks for it again. But this is a beautiful ball in. Bogdan couldn't get his left foot onto it and put Arindam Bhattacharya under some kind of pressure. But look at this for an absolutely beautifully weighted chip into the box from Tangwa. What an opportunity to equalize for Neroca FC, but here come Inter Kashi on the other end. Beautifully laid in ball by Gyamar Nikum on the right hand side. Here he comes again, gets past Rakesh. He's still going, he's teasing the defenders. How composed, but just a little too long. No support as well, Rohit.
Well, what a spell of play that was. Hard for us to breathe, hard for the fans to believe. One moment it was Inter Kashi attacking, trying to find out an opening. The very next moment, what a sensational delivery. And believe me, had that been a touch from Bogdan, I'm pretty sure Arindam was not in a position to save that. Coming in from the right, from the left, in fact, David goes to Tarak Hembram. Tarak Hembram sets it up slightly deeper. There comes a long range. But again, to be honest, beating Arindam with those shots, I think it's a bit too tough. It was Sajal Bagh.
Finally, Shajul Bagh coming to the fore, testing his senior out on that occasion, and that stung his hands, Arindam Bhattacharya, but as comfortable as ever. But what a beautiful switch onto the left hand side as Lal Rindika plays it and tries to switch over again to Gyamar Nikum, who who looks for a throw-in, but he completely missed that ball on that occasion, David Singh, as that goes out for a Neroca throw-in. But Neroca showing signs that they certainly want to make a comeback in this encounter.
Undoubtedly, there's no questions on that. Here comes Neroca once again. Good to see that they are coming back alive. Here comes another cross, but Peter Hartley manning it like a titan there. Heads it away. Here comes into Kashi once again, trying to build from the back, but won't really cut the gap in order to create a decent ball.
There certainly seems to be suddenly a lot of space in that midfield for Neroca to work with as well, as this is Tangwa, Taro Kembram. On the right hand side comes Shojul Bagh. Shojul Bagh tries to play it in. David trying to come in and intercept it, and this will go out for another throw in for Neroca FC. And this is good to see from Neroca that they are making an effort to go ahead and attack this Kashi defense, because they themselves are coming off a 4-0 defeat against Real Kashmir. So they do have loopholes in that defense, which Neroca FC can certainly work with, especially with the likes of Ansuman Kroma, who can just certainly find a hole in that defense at any point in time.
Once again, it's Sajal Bagh who's trying to find some opening. And this time, though, the pass was slightly overweight. Now that the action that we are seeing in the last 5 to 8 minutes, that looks like a lot more of open play. Both the teams coming for, or both the teams sniffing out those goals, trying to score. This man will play a very crucial role for Neroca FC, Jacob Joseph. Of course, he'll want his team to score, try and find those 3 points logged emphatically. But Neroca FC, once again, knowing the side, knowing their history, they are a team that can create those significant pointers.
Oh, absolutely, talking about history. I-League runners-up back in 2017-18 as they come forward with Taro Kembram down the right-hand side. Peter Hartley with the block, and an important block that too, but it's given away once again. Taro Kembram on the ball, teasing the defenders. No shouts of handball, but Peter Hartley has gone down to the ground. I wonder what exactly has happened on that occasion. It strikes straight into his face. Arindam Bhattacharya is having a look. David Simbo comes in, has a word with the ref. He wanted play to go on that occasion. Oh, there you see, straight into the face of Peter Hartley, and he didn't have time to react at all. Probably just got a little whack on his nose, and you know those can be a little bit of nasty at times. He probably have a little tears rolling down his eyes as well.
Yeah, that'll make you dizzy. But again, knowing Peter Hartley, he has the heart of a gladiator, gets back up very quickly, and once again all set to man his defense like a leader, rallying his troops. And at the moment, Kashi, they are walking on thin ice. They have that solitary goal for themselves for sure, but the way Neroca FC is playing, particularly the duo of Sajal Bagh and Tara Kembram, who's now being accompanied by the sudden runs of Tangwa Ragui, who scored for Neroca in the last game. I'm sure that we have a thriller of an encounter at our hands.
Neroca showed that they have goals in them. It's just a matter of time before they get their scoring shoes on, but they're also leaving a lot of space behind them, and that's bound to happen in this kind of a match as well. As David Singh gets the ball under control. Shojul Bagh. David Singh. Beautiful. Rakesh down the. This is Ansuman Kroma twisting and turning. This is where he's most dangerous. Oh, he almost got past Bijay on that occasion, but getting the last ditch foot in there on that occasion, Bijay, and he gets the goal kick.
Well, pretty surprised. Substitution straight away, and that too. The big name of Bogdan Catalin Gavrila, who's been taken off, wherein Sushil Mitei will be introduced. Now, of course, Gavrila, he isn't injured for sure. I think this is a tactical substitution coming in from Jacob Joseph. But that surprises me because Gavrila has been someone who can finish things off. It doesn't really look like he's happy at the moment that he's going out. He's kind of dragging himself out. He'll have to hurry as well, or else the referee can also get a yellow card coming. And look at this. These aren't good signs, are they?
He's not happy at all, and it's not easy to handle a star player when he's going off the field this early in the game, when he's supposed to be the star player, but he's got to accept his coach's decision, and he seems to be on a run track. He needs to calm down. I'm sure Jacob Joseph knows what he's doing, and Sushil Mitai, if his decision is right or not, only time will tell us. But here comes Ansuman Kroma. This is Tarok Himram once again on the right hand side. How often have we seen that? A little bit of a slip on that occasion, but he nonetheless gets the throw.
A little bit of tense faces in the Neroca dugout. Sajal Bagh on the ball once again, plays it all the way back. And it is going to be interesting to see how Neroca FC operates from here on. They have made a change, yes, but that kind of looked pretty startling to both of us, and it so definitely did to Bogdan. Here comes another long ranger, but to be honest, with such emasculated feet, Sajal Bagh, you're not beating your senior here. Arindam has made a hobby of saving those.
Oh, absolutely, but it's good to see those efforts coming in at least, and he's trying to test the goalkeeper on every occasion that he gets Sajal Bagh. It's getting confidence into those ranks of Neroca FC, because that was much needed, because otherwise they were looking like a team that is ready to be run over by Inter Kashi. But at this point in time, after that first goal from Inter Kashi, Neroca have certainly stepped it up, and stepped it up how? Because they know the importance of this fixture. If they lose here, they have daylight between them and Inter Kashi, which could be fatal for them in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. 6 games have already been played by all the teams, so of course they will try to close down the gaps with the teams who are above them, and I think this match is going to be very, very crucial in terms of shaping up the points table for these mid-table teams, of course. And Neroca FC, they haven't really had the best of starts to the tournament. Here's another long ball, though it eventually evades the leaping David Singh.
And for sure, Neroca I-League runners-up back in 2017-18, you don't really like seeing them languishing this low in the table. They are a team which likes to fight for championships. They have been fighting, and they've not made it easy for those top teams either over the years. They've quite nicely established themselves in Indian football. They won the 2nd Division I-League back in 2016 and 17 to gain promotion to the I-League. Then won 3rd place as well back in 2015-16 in the 2nd Division I-League. They were runners-up in the Durand Cup as well in 2016. So it just goes to show that Neroca are a team that really, really means to be here in Indian football and make their mark, as we saw Bogdan quite dejected in the background, and then he's almost is crestfallen on that occasion, and it's never good to see a player on that occasion. But I've got to give credit to Jacob Joseph for having the bravery to take that decision.
Well, I think there are times on a football pitch where, being the coach, you need to make harsh decisions that probably even you don't like to make, or at times can be kind of disheartening, kind of very dejecting for a player. But then at the end of the day, it's a team, it's a family. They are coming together for a common cause, right? So when we talk about families, there will be dissents, there will be disagreements, there will be fights, quarrels, but at the end of the day, what matters is that all of that gets dissipated. We all come together for a common cause, and we smile.
On a fun note, that won't be very, very interesting to the viewers. I know that we've been rivals, coaches of different teams, and I've seen you passionately shouting at your players from the sideline. How often have you taken those harsh decisions, and how have the players taken you on that occasion?
Shatadru, I'll let a few things be under wraps. Let's not get down there. Yeah, of course, we have been rivals, yes, and you being a coach yourself as well, you know how things are. And in fact, for the coaches, it's not always easy. I mean, like, I'm not trying to lionize myself. I definitely didn't make a good work of it. But yeah, you have been there. You have been running around a few teams. I've also seen you being very passionately, being very practically training them to something. And think for coaches, they are probably the underrated warriors. I mean, like when a team wins, all the credits goes to the players and all your star players, star power. But eventually the coach remains on the sidelines. I mean, Australia recently won the Cricket World Cup. How many times have we talked about their coach, did we?
Oh, absolutely. Talking about Australia winning the Cricket World Cup, as we see the goal again, how beautifully did Kashi work that out? How beautifully did they work those spaces out to create that amount of space for Lamela to just come and have almost a tap in on that occasion. Beautiful to watch that once again. But getting back to coaching and how underrated coaching staff are, you're talking about the Cricket World Cup as an example. Australia, a lot of people will say that cricket is won because of batting and bowling, but I feel that Australia won that cricket match or the Cricket World Cup based on fielding, and a lot of credit should go to the fielding coach for getting those players to the level that they were. They were absolutely fantastic to watch.
You know, if you ask me, somewhat of a similar comparison between football and cricket when it comes to fielding, fielding is that underrated skill, like off-the-ball plays in football. I mean, you talk about somebody getting extraordinary with the ball, running around circles around their defenders, going for the shots. Well, this can be a chance here for Neroca FC. It looks like Sajal Bagh, or I think it's Tara Kembram, who couldn't really find an inroad from the right. And yeah, getting back to the discussion, I think what fielding is in cricket is equivalent to off-the-ball play in football. It's very, very crucial, and it creates a lot of chances, like Yamar Nikum created that chance by going off the ball. Once again, talk about Nikum, and he's into action straight away. He needs support though. I think the touch was slightly heavy. Oh my word, chance is still there. Can they take this in? And it looks like they've made an entire mess of the situation.
I wonder what Vikasia Singh was asking for Edmund on that. Lalwin Dika was astonished that Vikasia Singh stood like an absolute statue on that occasion. He can't believe both of those players are still arguing with themselves. It's almost funny to us here, but they must not be laughing, and their coach must not be laughing, as we see a Neroca player on the ground. I think it's Balwinder Singh who has gone down for Neroca over here, and this is something that Neroca wouldn't have liked to see, but this was that pressing again from Gyamar Singh, and that was that tackle from the striker Mario Vela, as Gyamar Nikum caught onto the act. Probably should have taken into the goalkeeper on that occasion, but he took that touch a little wide, as we see the fourth official throwing 4 additional minutes on that occasion. But frantic pace here at the Kalyani Stadium, as we see Balwinder Singh trying to recover and get back into the game.
Well, at the moment, that really looked like a very harsh tackle. The way he fell down, he kind of felt the agony surging through him for a while. So of course, that was, once again, we'll try and show you. That was that last move we were talking about. I think that should have been put to bed by that striker himself. Look at the goalkeeper. He's out of his line. He doesn't know what he is chasing. Now tell me, Shatadru, last time I checked, goalkeeper can use their hands. Don't you think a dive out there, or probably going with his full body, could have done the job better instead of just chasing the ball like a shadow?
Maybe he was a little tentative on that occasion, not to give a penalty away, but probably lacking a little bit of confidence on that occasion. But I'll get back to the striker, who didn't take advantage of that at all, because Lalwin Dika on that occasion, as we see the tackle on Balwinder once again, the referee thought it was a very fair tackle. It was slightly on the ball. It was one of those 50-50 tackles which could have gone the defender's way as well, but the referee decides the other way. But getting back to Lalwin Dika, as he got that touch past the goalkeeper, and that is why Vikasia Singh is in an argument with his fellow teammate. Probably should have laid it down to him immediately after that first touch, but he takes that extra touch once again, as we have seen him do it in the earlier stages of this match again.
Well, absolutely, and here's, it looks like Sumit Pasi was expecting a free kick, but the referee is pointing out to a stretcher. And at the moment in the frame we don't see anybody down. Shatadru kind of forming his signs here. It looks like Balwinder's gone down once again, and I think there's something around his knee. Even you yourself know how painful it can be.
Oh, it can be very painful, and I really hope that Balwinder doesn't go through something like that at this point in time. He is holding the inside of his knee. I've had the agony of facing something like that just a few months back, and I wish that on no football player, but it's almost like a syndrome that is going on around. But I'm sure Balwinder will be fine as he's being stretched off. It's never a good sign in football to see a player being stretched off, but we can only wish well to Balwinder, and we wish to see him rather in this match itself, and if not, we wish him a speedy recovery.
Absolutely, we wish Balwinder a speedy recovery. Let's just hope that he's all right. But for Neroca now, this can be the second substitution, which can probably dent their numbers when it comes to the second half, because ideally with 5 substitutions, we know a lot of fresh faces come into the play in the second half itself. 4 minutes were added on, 3 minutes went on to tending to Balwinder. So of course things will be extended. Gyamar Nikum trying to find an opening from the right, takes his time, and another square pass. And yes, you have been pointing out a few things which kind of should be talked about. One of them is of course off the ball play, another one is stances being created. But to be honest, if you ask me, the talk of the town, the talk of the pitch, for me will definitely be Gyamar Nikum. What an absolute sensation has he been.
Absolutely. And right now, Neroca are down to 10 men with a few minutes left in this first half. Kashi are trying to take advantage. They sense the danger that they can create, and there it is. Surajit Seal comes in place of Balwinder Singh, and another Bengal connection which is there for Neroca FC, and he would like to make his mark as well. Huge task on his hands, Surajit. It's not going to be easy. As did you see that smartness from Kroma as he held off Hartley to try and flick it into the path of his fellow teammate? But what about that chop from the left hand side as Mario Villa goes forward? He's been bundled over the shot. Oh my word, Lamela! Would you believe it? He has scored another one, and that is a dagger into the hearts of the Neroca players and the coaching staff right on the cusp of halftime when they were just reeling from the loss of Balwinder Singh. Lamela has scored an absolutely stunning left foot into the bottom corner.
A goal scored from a goal-scoring machine, firing on full fury. Look at this run there. This run from Mario Villa had stars written over it. Look at that. He starts it from there, flicks it back, controls the ball, those small touches, and then he sets up Lamela, and there you go. Bam! He smokes it into the bottom left corner of the net as Kashi secures the 2-0 cushion, and definitely a bit of insurance along with that.
A long way back now for Neroca FC. But did you see how Lamela hardly had a backlift when he took that shot? An absolute class of a goal, but that ball has been given away. A press into Kroma. Can he take it? Kroma lays it down the right hand side. Arindam Bhattacharya, cool as a cucumber, as that shot came in from the right, he just swats it away like a mosquito.
Well, if we talk about the renowned goalkeepers, there comes another cross, another opportunity, and straight into the hands of Arindam Bhattacharya. With this, we'll come to the end of the first half. What has been a very happening first half, as Kashi has a 2-0 cushion. Kudos to Jordan Lamela with that sensational brace. A man who knows the net, a man who knows to score.
Peter Hartley is going in with a smile, but he wouldn't have gone in with a smile if Kroma could have taken advantage, and if Kashi would have conceded, his coach Carlos Santamarina would have wiped the smile off his captain's face. But nonetheless, All good here for Kashi. As you can see, they have dominated proceedings right from the onset. 58% ball possession, 9 shots, 7 shots for Neroca, which came a lot after their first goal. 2 on target for Kashi. Both of them have been goals. 3 for Neroca FC, most of which have been comfortable for Arindam Bhattacharya.
Well, that late surge from Neroca FC has been doused. 7 shots from them. Tarak Hembram hammering away those 4. Sajal and Simbo, they had their fair parts in the crime as well, in the crime of trying to torment the opposition. 9 shots from Kashi. Jordan Lamela with those 2 goals out of the 4 shots he took. Vikash with a couple of them. Edmund, Julian and Mario Barco had 1 shot each.
Only 3 fouls conceded by Neroca FC. Safiul Rahman with 1, Simbo with 1 and Tangwa with 1.
And a couple of fouls committed by Kashi. Mandi and Mario Barco Villar were the perpetrators in this cause. And with that being said, we'll now quickly move on to the highlights to show you what unfurled, the kind of madness, the kind of frenzy that took over Kalyani today.
Oh, absolutely. It was Kashi all the way right from the start. And after that first goal from Kashi, it was Neroca who would take over for a brief period. And there was that first yellow card for Ansuman Kroma for dissent. Then Edmund would take that shot on, dribbling away as he has in that entire first half. Sumit Pasi with that beautifully floated in cross. Mario Villa couldn't get his head over it as he writhes in pain on that occasion. And another yellow card which goes in for Neroca FC. And this was that first goal which Kashi definitely deserved. But did you see how Guillermo Nikum left that ball to be crossed from the left hand side? Beautiful stuff from the youngster as well. This was a chance for Neroca FC to come back right into this encounter, but Bogdan couldn't get his foot to it.
And then Sajal Bagh and Tarak Hembram coming together before Mario Villa set up Jordan Lamela with another opportunity to hammer this ball away into the back of the net. And Jordan Lamela says, gift accepted, thank you so much. Look at the shot once again, set himself up perfectly, and then that pile driver hammered away from that left boot. And that is how we come to an end, isn't it, Shatadru?
Oh, absolutely. And I was just going to say that it was almost an ankle breaker, as we call it in football, and from Mario Villa leading up to that goal from Lamela. And the news from the Kalyani Stadium, it is Neroca FC who has a very, very uphill task if they want to turn this around, because Kashi at this point in time are running away with it with a 2-0 lead at halftime.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, another second half, another pulsating 45 minutes of action right ahead of us. As things stand, Kashi has a 2-0 cushion over Neroca FC. And alongside me, I have Shatatru once again rejoining me in the commentary box.
A very, very tall mountain to climb here for Neroca FC, and Ansuman Kroma are trying to motivate them, and you could see him giving a sign to his fellow teammates that it's just 2 goals. It's not a very big deal, but they have to get the ball to Kroma in those dangerous spaces in the D box if Kroma has to keep to his words that this is not an easy, as the referee blows the whistle for the second half to get underway here at the Kalyani Stadium. Will it be Kashi extending their lead and dominance over Neroca FC, or will Neroca FC make an astonishing comeback into this encounter?
Well, a change affected by Neroca FC, and that is Rohit Mitay, the defender, has come on, wherein they have took off David Singh. Now with 2-0 down, introducing a defender in place of an attacker kind of tells you that how questionable or in what state Jacob Joseph might be. Because had I been the coach, I'm pretty sure I would have liked to introduce probably Orgo Roy into the mix. Orgo Roy is someone who's played for a while, and maybe a bit of Aniket Panchal as well. Aniket Panchal has scored a couple of goals of late, so why not them? The only explanation that I can have is maybe that forced substitution of Balwinder Singh that had to be made. I think the introduction of Surajit Seal wasn't that convincing enough for Neroca FC. This can be a chance. Looking around for shooting space. There comes the shot. But Ansumana Kroma doesn't really hit the bullseye with that.
But once again, you see how smart the Liberian is on that occasion. He almost sold it to Gyamar Nikum 100% that he was going to take that shot. Just shifts it onto his left hand side to make such good space, but just a little while too long before he could get that shot out of his shoes. But once again, Kroma being the most dangerous player for Neroca FC, and Kashi so far have had to deal with only the danger of Kroma, which is why Arindam Bhattacharya has been relatively comfortable.
I think Arindam Bhattacharya just has been tested once. Going by his caliber, the rest of the shots, yeah, there was a gloves warmer that was being subjected to him by Tarak Hembram, rather by Sajal Bagh, I guess. But then again, other than that, most of the shots that he saved has been pretty much easy pickings for him. Here's a chance for Neroca FC to try and break from that central channel. They have switched it towards the right now, trying to make way. Rohit Mitay. Here's another opportunity to let one fly. That could have been close. That almost felt like a thunderbolt being hurled. But then once again, you've got to hit the mark.
A nonchalant walk by Arindam Bhattacharya across his goal, as if he knew what was happening. And he is it's so cool to see a legendary keeper like Arindam Bhattacharya acting as cool as it gets on the pitch, where the 22 players absolutely fighting it out in the middle, especially Neroca FC trying to do everything in their power to get back into this match. But I take you back a little while, moments back into that encounter. How beautiful was it to watch Lamela, and we mentioned this earlier, how Kashi has been dominating this midfield, and this is why, because Julen Perez Del Pino has absolutely mastered this midfield region for Kashi. As you saw that once again, he's controlled proceedings like a professor in that midfield region, but there could be a little bit of confusion there, as you often see between two centre-back pairings which are very, very new to the fore. But getting back to that discussion, as soon as Kashi launched that ball, we saw Jordan Lamela, who scored a brace, fall into that central midfield region and to help Julian Perez Del Pino in that defensive shape. And there was two defensive midfielders right in front of the defense, which is why Neroca just haven't been able to make any space whatsoever to threaten this Kashi goal so far.
Here's a chance for Kashi. Gyamar Nikum comes in with the cross once again, and it has been repelled away by the skipper. Hailing all the way from Sierra Leone, David Simbo. And now getting back to your point, well, another nice point out there, because to be very honest, I think these are the small technical manifestations that kind of change the game. Quickly dropping back, and that is also one of the things that kind of sets Jordan Lamela apart from those signature number 9, number 10 forwards, because if you're dropping back, you tend to become the nucleus of the midfield. So ideally you not only score, but you are supposed to, or you are expected to have a clear vision of what's about to happen. Well, Vikas Singh, he's gone down. He'll need some treatment for sure. And while that happens, we can actually talk about how good has been Jordan Lamela, because again, off the ball play, kind of focusing around positional structure as well, because if you do not know where you are, becoming the fulcrum of the side, maybe you're not receiving enough balls, but your positioning also has this tendency of trying to send or of trying to fend your oppositions off. So keeping all of that in mind, I think Jordan Lamela, as you pointed out, has been the fulcrum alongside Gyamar Nikum for Kashi. Here's a chance for Neroca though, but well defended, but Kashi, they continue to press, and it looks like they've given the ball away. This can be a criminal error. There comes the shot, but a crucial block coming in from none other than Sajal Bagh, it looks like.
I think it was Surajit Seal who kind of flailed his body in the line and showing that he belongs here at this stage. But once again, like you were mentioning, but this is Neroca with an effort. Shouts of penalty, and I think that's Bijoy V who got his chest to it. It looked like the chest, but we'll have a look at it again as Rohit lays it on to Taro Kembram, who absolutely let fly on that occasion, and it does get it off his chest. And this is a corner for Neroca FC, and you can see that they're crowding that box out. They need to use these set pieces to score.
Of course, if the open play has been stalled, you will have to use the set pieces. There's no second thoughts on that, to be honest. If we look around the strategy for Neroca FC, I don't really think they have one. At the moment, they are just sticking to the rudimentary. Every single time a ball comes in, just get it out. Here's a chance for Neroca FC though, but Peter Hartley, the titan in the opposition defense, Kashi kind of relies on him to clear these balls out. And a good snatch there from Neroca.
Here come Neroca again. This is Sajal Bagh in that central midfield position. Here comes Rohit. The shot comes in, but no real venom in it once again from Rohit on his left foot as Sajal Bagh laid it into his foot, and then the shot comes from his left and so easily collected by Arindam Bhattacharya.
Here's a chance for Neroca once again. Intercepted. Bijoy V comes into the attack, and this is going to be a long chase for Gyamar Nikum, but David Simbo will have it in control as he quickly dishes out the ball. Allows Neroca FC to try and build from the left, but it looks like they'll be stopped in their tracks, eventually imparting a free kick to the men in orange.
Yeah, and then you were mentioning a little while back about how dynamic Jordan Lamela has been in that midfield region. It just is a testament in that first goal, and I've believed it, and a lot of coaches say this: the best of goal scorers are those ones who arrive the latest in the box. And just when you saw Mario Vela play that ball, there was no chance for Neroca FC defenders to make any kind of marking on Jordan Lamela on that occasion, because he just arrived so late after the ball being played. It was just beautiful to watch. That's third man movement at its very best.
A substitution coming in. Vikas, who was down a few moments ago, has been taken off as Tomba Singh comes into the frame. This is definitely not the Tomba Singh we knew. Another Tomba Singh has ruled the Indian football circuit for more than a decade. He was one of the most reliable stalwarts playing for the bigger clubs. And this Tomba Singh, he's someone who's young, who's exciting, and has got tremendous speed up his sleeve. That's a nice chip forward, and it looks like Neroca FC took their eyes of the ball, but eventually will win the throw-in in their favour.
Because Sumit Pasi completely miscued that, and it was written all over his face. He was not happy with that, but look at that from Ansuman Kroma once again. He absolutely turned Sumit Pasi inside out on that occasion. Just couldn't keep it in because he ran out of field on that occasion. But boy, Ansuman Kroma certainly looks a danger for these Inter-Kashi players.
I think one major challenge for Neroca FC and Inter-Kashi, the major difference is that bench strength. If we take a closer look, now ideally a major challenge for them has been, we know that the midfield, right, they have been kind of bottled down. Now every time Ansumana Kroma has got the ball, he's been sensational. For a moment it felt like Inter-Kashi may have an attack of their own. So yeah, every time Kroma has got the ball, he's been sensational. But how many times has he got the ball, Chatatru? Maybe twice or thrice?
Oh, absolutely. Even when he has the ball, he doesn't have support around him, and that's been the problem in that area. But it could all change with Tarok Hembram running onto that ball from the left-hand side. He does beautifully to escape the challenge of Sumit Pasi. The cross comes in, but Peter Hartley, as always, the ever-present United Kingdom player. But this is a ball in. Rohit with the volley, but didn't get the cleanest of connections. But Tarok Hembram from that left hand side, he has changed wings and he's certainly giving Sumit Pasi some problems.
Absolutely, I think it was not an easy one. Wanted to take the side volley there. In case of these instances, you have to be very particular about your point of connection. You cannot go under the ball, you cannot go over the ball. You have to be very lateral to the ball. But then again, with that being said, what a sensational delivery that was. A perfect setup, if we may say. And that is probably where Neroca FC will start believing in themselves. That belief is crucial, is pivotal. That's another lovely ball into Kashi. Tries to latch on from the left. They eventually do. It's Edmund Lalrandika looking around for a bit of support.
Beautiful combination play there. Once again, Lalrandika. This is Lamela with the ball. So beautiful to watch. Elegant as ever. Jordan Lamela scoring a brace today, making his name all over this match. This is another beautifully played ball. Lamela this time around. Commentator's curse is what I say normally.
Well, I'm not much of a believer of commentator's curse, but nonetheless, we'll subscribe to your train of thoughts now. Once again, a perfect delivery. Now, more than that cross, if we take a look at that back pass, I mean the pass that was created from the back, that was sensational. The run from Jordan Lamela was picture perfect. So I think that tells you that how good of a player he is. This is another long ball, but before Tarok Hembram could have latched onto it, it was intercepted.
Once again, it's been such a pleasure. I know Neroca haven't been at their best, but did you have a look how effortlessly Kroma just turned that defender inside out? Beautiful hold-up play from a striker. Just doesn't seem to be getting the support he deserves at this point in time as Tarok Hembram just shoot for the stars. Beautifully controlled on the left hand side, puts it up into Kashi, looking for Mario, but very well defended by David Simbo, but almost ran into trouble, but the referee luckily spotted that handball. There's that David Simbo. Ooh, there was that handball in the end from Lamela.
Here's another lovely chance, opportunity, there comes the shot, with a crucial block there, and it looks like it was Bijoy V, and now into Kashi, bombing forward from the left. It's Edmund Lalrandika, looking around for a bit more space, a bit of support, does well, tries to get past the defender, but has been denied.
Textbook one-on-one defending from Safiul Rahman, delays the attacker because he knew that he didn't have much support behind him and just steps across it. And all youngsters watching, That's exactly how you defend it. One-on-one. Beautiful from Safiur Rahman.
Well, to be honest, Neroca FC, they look a bit more active than they were in the first half. At least they're trying to find up those opening. Here comes Rohit. What a shot! That was a late curler. Maybe if that could have been slightly towards the goal, Arindam Bhattacharya would definitely have been under the cosh.
And for a change, Arindam Bhattacharya seems to be diving around, and that is the first time in the match that he has had to move his limbs a little bit more, and that certainly was a very venomous shot. It certainly looked like it was creeping in, and Arindam Bhattacharya has got his hand to it to lead this corner for Neroca, and it's going to be a curler into the box, and it's not a bad one. Beautiful header out there. Who's there? Lamela.
Well, it looks like the danger's still not over. Neroca FC keeps on knocking on the doors, and this match has just started warming up to show its true colors. It definitely isn't one-sided.
Oh, certainly not. Neroca FC is certainly starting to find space behind that midfield for Inter Kashi. Just when we say that, they stuff out the danger, the Inter Kashi, with some beautiful combination play once again between Julian Perez, Del Pino, Nikum Kumar and Jordan Lamela. That was beautiful to watch again, how they absolutely build that out from that midfield region, forming those little triangles in that midfield region as we so often see in modern football nowadays. And Simbo needs to be a little careful as he almost has a tug on the t-shirt of Mario Villar, but eventually the foul being given away there by the defender Rakesh Mitai.
Free kick for Inter Kashi, quickly steered out all the way back to Peter Hartley. And now coming forward slowly and steadily. Here comes attempted another through ball, looking around for a bit of space there. Mario Villar sends it into the central channel. Shot taken, not on target. Knocking on the doors, the substitute Tomba Singh trying to test the goalkeeper.
Very central position, like you had mentioned, a former Tomba Singh, a legendary player who has plied his trade in Indian football, and we've seen many a long ranger from that kind of range from Tomba Singh of the olden days, scored from Mohan Bagan from that kind of range, but on that occasion the youngster Tomba Singh Jr. doesn't quite get hold of that shot as Simbo takes possession for Neroca FC and plays it to the substitute Surajit Sil. And this is Tangwa. Plays a beautiful ball down the left hand side. This is Rakesh. Sushil Mitai for Neroca FC, keeping control of the ball. Shajol Bag.
Well, I think the kind of football that we've seen from Neroca in the second half is a lot more controlled, and they are kind of back in the game in terms of midfield dominion. Here's a lovely ball. Rohit sends in the cross, goal scoring chance, and what a save from the goal line, but the goal will eventually come. It's none other. Well, we'll have to wait. But what a goal, in fact.
I have to say this, and I'm interrupting you, but what an inspiring change. I will get back to the substitution. It is Sushil Mitai who has scored, who came in place of the controversial substitution that the coach made in place of the Romanian Bogdan. Guess what, Rohit? Neroca are right back into this encounter. What a beautifully constructed goal. But we've got to give credit for that goal line clearance as well. That was heroics on the goal line, but absolutely brilliant stuff from Neroca for Sushil Mitai. Just look at the composure he keeps on that occasion as Sushil Mitai just calmly places it past Arindam Bhattacharya and the sea of blue defenders around that penalty box. Game on. Inter Kashi 2, Neroca FC just a goal away from equalizing.
Well, we were just talking about how good Neroca FC has been. Inter Kashi now has a chance. There comes a shot. What a save. Has to be the save of the evening. No questions about that. Throwing his body to the right is Santosh Singh. Denies Tomba Singh, another long ranger.
This time, he makes no mistake whatsoever in hitting the target, and Tomba Singh gets the appreciation from Peter Hartley, and he certainly has what it takes to get it past Santosh Singh, but Santosh Singh says that I've got it covered for now. This is end-to-end stuff at the moment, and there is your wish coming true with Jackie Chan Singh coming in place of Jordan Lamela.
And Edmund as well making way for Asif, another very talented player. And it looks like Inter Kashi are switching their gears on. They want more goals for sure, because the one goal cushion will never be enough. And particularly with the kind of football that Neroca is playing right now, it can be very, very tricky.
Inter Kashi certainly look a very different team, and so does Neroca FC. Right at the beginning of that second half, Ansuman Kroma had told and signaling to his players it's just 2 goals, and it certainly just looks 2 goals. It's just 1 goal now for Neroca FC to make a comeback into this encounter, and you can see the urgency amongst these Neroca players as Safiur Rahman just tries to play the free kick from anywhere and everywhere, as Shajul Bagh tries to thread that forward almost on his knees as he heads it out. Sumit Pasi. This is Inter Kashi now trying to get their 2-goal cushion back, and they could do it any time, but on that occasion Neroca Safiur Rahman gets it off the substitute Jackie Chan Singh, who has come onto the left hand side, and that goes out for a goal kick.
They'll have to be careful about Jackie Chan's runs, because he's someone who's not that well traceable enough. He'll just run into your defense even before you realize the damage will be done. And he has a very venomous range of shots at his disposal. But at the moment, Rohit comes in from the right. Another lovely opportunity could have been created had the pass been on target, but well intercepted. And now into Kashi on the way forward. The flag has stayed down, is it? Yes, it has. That can be a goal. And oh my word, did he miss that? How on earth, Chatadru, did he shoot that out from that range?
I don't think he can believe it himself, because Mario Villa did 99% of the things right on this occasion. He has David Simbo on his backside on that occasion. He has Surajit Seal on the ground. All he has to do is place it past the goalkeeper, and he makes an absolute hash of it as the play starts again. It could have been Inter Kashi 3, Neroca FC 1, but will Inter Kashi come back to miss that, or rather rue that missed chance from Mario Villa, as he's missed 2 chances already. He's had a few headers off target which he should have hit the target, but Kiamar Nikum on that occasion trying to track back as the ball comes in. Is not a bad one at all. What a defensive clearance right in front of the eyes of Arindam Bhattacharya, and here's Gyamar Nikum who tries to play in Mario Villa once again. This is Surajit Seal who keeps control. Mario Villa just walks away from that challenge. I wonder what's wrong on that occasion. He's just walking towards the sideline. Is he complaining to his coach about some trouble and he'll not be happy with it?
Or maybe he's probably injured, is it? Like something that we didn't miss out. Yes, he's gone down. It looks like he's clutching onto his hamstring. Not really the best of signs again, but then, you know, when players play 90 minutes of football, I mean, winter is still to set in completely in Kolkata. So obviously these kind of muscle pulls and all of these, they kind of happen. And eventually play has been stopped. Of course, he will need some attention, and knowing the kind of impact he has on the Inter Kashi Ekilins, I'm pretty sure the coach will not like to risk him any further.
No, absolutely, and it's also going to be a blow in this match, particularly if Mario Villa goes off right now. They don't have that attacking threat right now. He was the target man. He was creating a lot of those chances. He was that holding up striker. He was the connection between Jordan Lamela, Gyamar Nikum, Edmund, now Jackie Chan Singh. But if he goes off, into Kashi coach Carlos Javier Santa Marina certainly has to think of alternatives here, because this doesn't look good for his main striker.
Yeah, it can be a trouble in paradise for Inter Kashi, because they have also taken up Jordan Lamela. So that means two of their major goal-scoring architects, they will be not on the field if he has to go out now. And currently, Neroca FC is playing very dominatingly at the moment. So maybe if they can get that equalizer back, well, surprise.
And at that point in time, they can even go for the winner, but it could all change because Gyamar Nikum is showing a rapid turn of pace down that right-hand side as he holds up and plays a beautifully disguised ball onto the right-hand side to Tomba Singh, who wins the throw-in. Inter Kashi players look a little exhausted here, although this is beautiful weather here in Kolkata. It's not very humid, it's not very hot. Inter Kashi players looking a little tired, and suddenly out of nowhere we have seen Shajul Bagh come alight in the second half.
I think this is one of the cons of high pressing football. We'll get back to that because Inter Kashi has a chance. There comes the cross, but they are numerically overwhelmed at the moment. And yes, talking about, so we know that Inter Kashi was pressing pretty high out in that first half. Now, if you are able to keep yourself in control, keep your stamina in place, then why not? But there are times when overtly pressing your counterpart can lead to some serious damage later on in the game. And now that one of your major architects, Jordan Lamela, has been taken off, and with Marco Villar in a bit of trouble still, you never know. Neroca FC may just sniff a turnaround.
Oh, absolutely, as we see two substitutes getting ready, and I think that Gyamar Nikum is looking a little exhausted on that right-hand side. I think the coach is probably going to take him off. My bet from the list would be Anil Chavan, who will look to come on. An experienced campaigner at this level of football, Anil Chavan.
Well, there's another name that I would probably like to place my bet on. Maybe a bit of over-optimistic hope, and that is another experienced campaigner called Senat Singh. He's been around in the Indian circuit. He was a part of the I-League winning campaign for Mohun Bagan. Here comes Neroca FC from the left. There is a cross. Peter Hartley barely keeps that out, and eventually that has been taken out of the danger zone.
Someone who certainly has to take the reins over at this point in time is that man in midfield, Julen Perez Del Pino. He has a big task going into the last quarter of this game, as is this man Jackie Chan Singh. We know what he's capable of as he beautifully plays it down the right hand side, and you can see exhaustion in Gyamar Nikum. He's a youngster, and a talented youngster like him has to be protected in the right way, and I think it's time up for him in this game going into the last quarter.
Yeah, absolutely, because at times if your players are that exhausted, then you're just risking yourself. Either you get to change his position, bring him in a place where he doesn't really need to run in more. Neroca FC kind of sniffing out another chance, trying to barge in from that central channel, but it looks like Inter Kashi, Jackie Chan Singh, controlling the ball well, and eventually has won a free kick as well for his team.
Also, they seem a little luster right now, because suddenly Inter Kashi, with all those beautiful pieces of football in the first half, we'll come back to that because we see the two substitutes happening over here. Muhammad Adsal is one of the players who's coming on, and he's coming on in place of Mario Villar. And that is it for the evening for Mario Villar.
And it looks like Nikum will finally be taken off as you predicted, because he was clearly exhausted and jaded, and as coach doesn't want to risk. He's been an asset to the team The way he's bombed forward from the right. And I think you have won the bet. It's Anil Chavan who's coming in. Well, obviously his experience will come in handy. Of course, and he's also a kind of a like-for-like substitution. Maybe he's not as fast as Gyamar Nikom is, but then he's someone who can hold fort in that right wing.
Oh, absolutely, and he's certainly a more defensive counterpart to Gyamar Nikom and a bigger physical presence in that defense, and that's what the Inter-Kashi team needs right now. And you can see that the staff are happy with what Gyamar Nikom has done in today's encounter, but it's a long 15 minutes right now for Inter-Kashi, because all the beautiful football that we had seen in the first half has certainly gone out of the window.
I think that is what makes football even more beautiful. I mean, like, no matter how dominant you have been, how you have called the shots throughout the game, you will have to do that consistently for 90 minutes and not even 88 minutes. Because if you do that for 88 minutes, there's another long cross Arindam out of his line, eventually collects that comfortably. Ansumana Kroma was threatening to probably intercept that one, but it's not going to be an easy one. Here's another chance, though Arindam's out of his line, clears the danger away, and it looks like the flag actually did go up, yes.
It's a nervous Carlos Javier Santamarina on the touchline. He can't quite believe what he's seeing right now, because, like you mentioned, 45 minutes is only halfway in a football game, and it was 45 minutes of absolute dominance from Inter-Kashi, where Neroca absolutely didn't have a single foot in this game. But guess what? 30 minutes into the second half of this encounter, Neroca have pulled a goal back and are threatening to score a second, because they are absolutely dominating proceedings at this point in time, as Santosh Singh gathers that and plays it to Surajit Seal, who gets the ball forward, plays it long, going for the direct approach, but that's not going to trouble the likes of Peter Hartley at all. But this is Tarok Hemram, who has come alive in the second half as well, along with Shajul Bagh. This is Rohit. Tarok Hemram tries that fancy back heel. Wonder who he was aiming at.
I think the idea is right, but Rohit didn't go for the run, because ideally when you're playing the 1-2 consistently and you're set up for a shot, I think it's quite common for the one who's standing out to the right or to the left, trying to set himself up for a shot, to take that run forward. I think Rohit was stuck. Another cross coming in. Ansumana Kroma leaping above his marker, but eventually, see, look at this again. When he leapt above his marker, his face was turned towards, he's away from the goal. So by the time he could just drag himself in, head the ball, I think the sting was already taken out of it.
Oh, absolutely. But what a beautiful attempt, though, from Ansumana Kroma to even get his head to it. Just shows how desirous he is right now to get that ball and get that goal back for Neroca FC, because they're pressing forward here. They are not letting their laurels down here, because Neroca FC is absolutely throwing the kitchen sink at Inter-Kashi right now as the cross comes in. It's a beautiful one! Oh my word! Probably should have been a little selfish and taken that effort himself.
The idea was right, but then, as you pointed out, there are times when you need to decide for yourself. What a chance, and it goes begging. Believe me, we are far away from the finish line. Inter-Kashi suddenly seems like that they are chasing windmills right now, and Neroca FC is raining terror upon their counterparts. They are finally starting to play like a home team, and Inter-Kashi kinds of know what they're up against.
Well, there is drama every time Neroca seems to be playing. Last time around they were 4-0 up going into the last 10 minutes. And then Delhi FC scored 3 goals in the space of 10 minutes. Going into those last 5 minutes of injury time, absolutely exhilarating to watch. And we're almost into the last 10 minutes with Neroca just a goal down, and we see Mandi, Shomdeep Mandi, also on the ground. The stretcher again comes out. Carlos Javier Santa Marina cannot believe his eyes that he's seeing his players fall down like 9 pins at the moment.
I'll quote two gentlemen in football. One of them is the iconic Bill Shankly. You know, he said once, football is more than a matter of life and death. And another gentleman is Sir Alex Ferguson, football bloody hell. I'm pretty sure when these quotes came out of them, they've seen a lot of it. We know football. It's all about those quick seconds where the game changes. I mean, it will completely go into disarray and you won't even know when it's changing. You will just be a spectator stranded on the sidelines. Like, you can literally go from glory to despair in what, a split second? And again, from being a beggar on the road, you can become the king in a possible second. So with all that in consideration, eventually it's the final whistle that settles the fate. Until that final whistle has been blown, nothing, I repeat, nothing comes to an end.
Absolutely, and Neroca FC will believe in that even more so, but this is a beautiful take from Jackie Chan Singh. The shot comes in from the right hand side, but what a beautiful take. We'll get back to that. Tomba Singh tries to cross it in. Shajul Bag taking up the mantle and playing it up, but the clearance comes in from Bijoy. This is Thangwa, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like it is Tangwa in fact. But then again, Neroca FC now tries to steer things, now tries to take possession from the left. Does well, overlap completed, but the ball won't really reach out to him. It eventually does fall, but a split second later, looks around for a crossing space. And slowly and steadily, Neroca FC, Ansumana Kroma on the ball. The possession still remains at Neroca's feet. Cross comes in, intended for the far right, but eventually none of the sentinels of Neroca FC was manning that region.
But here they come again. It's relentless right now from Neroca FC. The Orange Brigade are throwing everything here. This is Rohit from the left hand side. The cross comes in, but no one in that box apart from Kroma. An easy header out by Bijay. They need to throw in more people into that box to attack those beautifully floated crosses. This is Rakesh going in from the left. Skips past the challenge. It's still a chance. Rakesh! But I think there was an error in judgment from Rakesh. But this could be end-to-end stuff here. Surajit Singh does fantastically well to shield that ball off.
I think one particular thing about that attack is Neroca FC players got busy in appealing for a penalty instead of throwing themselves at the opposition, because Kashi was slightly caught off guard on that one. So maybe the rebound could have fallen at their feet if they were ready, but they weren't. Again, this is why we say that every moment in football matters. Nonetheless, Neroca FC once again carving an attack from the right. Definitely they look like the more confident side out of the two, and they have more juice in their funnel. Kashi struggling right now to fend off the swarm of invasions forged by Neroca FC.
It certainly looks like Kashi have given up on attacking, and they're very happy to park the bus right now and hold on to this 1-goal lead that they have, as this cross will come in from Safiul. Is not a bad one at all. The ball falls at the feet, but this is Rakesh Mitai. Tarok Hembram has been bundled over, but fairly so. Tomba Singh will hook this forward as far as he could. And this is Neroca back on the attack once again, but that was another beautifully constructed attack from Neroca FC. Just doesn't seem to favor right now for Neroca is luck.
How many more chances will Neroca FC need to try and convert? One into the back of the net. Here they come again from the right. Another cross. That's the goal number 2. An equalizer. Is it? Oh my word. Ansumana Kroma doesn't really believe. I think he's crossed that offside line. That's the 4th offside for Neroca FC. Would you believe it?
But it did look offside, and it's quite clear from here. He's yards offside on that occasion. I don't know Why even was he going on to celebrate that? I think his teammates knew it as well. But he was on the run to celebrate it. Didn't even look at it. He's still complaining. How is that offside? I really hope that he goes back home and watches the replay. He certainly was yards offside on that occasion. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Neroca are ever so close in getting that equalizer here.
Well, I think if there's one man in that Neroca ranks who deserves a goal thoroughly, it has to be Ansumana Kroma. He's done everything right today. Every time he's touched the ball, the kind of skill, the kind of flair, the kind of magic he has needed. That's brilliant. Here can be another chance. Arindam Bhattacharya this time showcasing his exemplary control, darting out of his line and almost snatching the ball away from Kroma's head there.
Experience when it matters the most, because Kroma had no idea, because he thought that he was running onto that ball and getting it. Arindam Bhattacharya snatches it away from his eyes almost. Beautiful interception from Arindam Bhattacharya, but this is beautiful from Asif from the left hand side. Jackie Chan Singh, this is another chance for Inter Kashi to put the game to rest, but now on the counter attack come Neroca FC, and there is a pull from the Inter Kashi players who slows down the Neroca counter attack, allowing their players to fall back. Quite professional on that approach, but here comes Ansumana Kroma from the left hand side, beautiful as he has been all evening along. Beautiful turn this time. Sushil Mitai, he's already got one, but on that occasion probably better decision making could have prevailed.
Well, 5 minutes of regulation time remaining. Alongside that, I'm pretty sure 6 to 7 minutes will be added on, even maybe 8 as well. We are in for a treat. It feels like at the moment it's a pendulum oscillating at both ends, and it's not oscillating to the seconds of time, it's oscillating to the seconds of momentum. And the momentum right now still stays with Neroca FC. They may be a goal down, but their constant presence, their constant threat is looming large, and with every passing second it's getting larger on the shores of Inter Kashi.
As Tomba Singh puts that forward. This is Anil Chavan, but no chance whatsoever to get past the towering presence of David Simbo. Now, here come Inter Kashi once again. Jackie Chan Singh tries to play it through, but he has been plundered there by Shurajit Seal, who comes forward from the right hand side. He's continued his run. This is Sushil Metai looking for options, doesn't have one down the left hand side. This is Rakesh who joins on the left hand side, but the cross comes in. I wonder what that header was from Sushil Metai. And at this point in time, in that attacking third zone, when Neroca have all the momentum, they certainly have to get their decision making right at this point.
Undoubtedly, and it looks like it was David Simbo once again in a free kick going Neroca's way now. Maybe if Neroca can exploit that free kick, Jacob Joseph, he'll definitely be happy with the second half performance. Once again, Rohit coming in from the right. There comes the cross. Oh my word! Oh my word! That's agonizingly close. What a sensational cross. And Lady Luck still not smiling in behalf of Ansumana Kroma.
What a beautiful cross, like you said. Arindam Bhattacharya was a sitting duck on that occasion, and he's certainly been called into action. He's not cool as he was in the first half. He has been the busier of the two keepers in this second half, and Kroma cannot believe that has not hit the right part. What a shot that is on his left foot, but my judgment preceded my excitement on that occasion, as that went quite wide off the mark on that occasion. But nonetheless, Asif telling Neroca that we are there, ever so present on the counter-attack when an opportunity presents itself.
Shatadru, believe me, the complexion of the game that we are seeing, both of our excitement has preceded our judgments. I mean, like even in the last time when the ball went into the back of the net, but nonetheless, I think that tells you that clearly has to be a foul. There's no questions on that. The yellow card has come out, and it looks like Safiul Rahman is in tremendous agony as Sandeep Mandi has been shown a yellow card. That was clearly an opportunity where Sandeep Mandi could have gone, or in fact Safiul could have gone within inches of creating a gilt-edged opportunity. With Ansumana Kroma on the prowl, maybe and just maybe this could have been the moment that they were looking forward to.
Is this the moment for Neroca FC? Because this is a beautiful position for a free kick to be swung into the box of Arindam Bhattacharya, and we know that Neroca FC are going to throw players forward, as we see from the replay quite clearly. Sandeep Mandi catching Safiul Rahman on his ankles quite deservedly. A yellow card from the referee. Is this the moment, as you had predicted 8 minutes, but we are not far away from it? 7 minutes of added time has been given by the fourth official. This is Rakesh, takes the free kick! It was in the end a palming save from Arindam Bhattacharya, but a comfortable one. You would expect a goalkeeper of his caliber to make all day long.
Rightly pointed, a goalkeeper of his caliber to make it all day long. It was not an easy save. It was his positioning that made it look like there comes the corner, and somehow the free header goes wide. Oh, Neroca FC, so much agony on their faces once again. A wonderful corner floated in. Only if he could have hit the target. I'm pretty sure Safiul Rahman, he'll like to forget that.
He did everything right. He won the free kick. He rose the highest. He met it with right on his forehead. Just couldn't keep it on target.
David Simbo now heading it forward. Slightly scrappy football. And a couple of players going down. And it looks like David Simbo is not in a very uncompromising position nonetheless. Will restart action. And Neroca FC, what a sensational brand of football have they played out in the second half. Maybe a bit more precision, a bit more experience in their echelons, and they would have been good to go. Here comes another cross. Crucial intervention. This is some serious box-to-box action. At the moment, though, it's more in the box of Kashi, as Neroca FC keeps on striding around, hoping to meet the fate of the equalizer.
But this only gets me one question in my head. Where was this Neroca FC in the first half? It's just...
Kashi though, Jackie Chan Singh, he can definitely shoot, and he'll get a free kick just at the edge of the box as he was tipped over by Surajit Seal.
He's a tricky customer, isn't it? And he's just danced past the defender as if he wasn't there on that occasion. Safiul Rahman had no idea, or rather Surajit Seal on that occasion, had no idea which side he was going to go on that occasion. Jackie Chan Singh, fantastic work, and that buys and runs down the clock as well. I don't think Jackie Chan Singh will let anyone take this, and he's asking the ref that how much time is left, because he's going to take as much time behind this free kick. It's going to be a wondrous celebration if Jackie Chan Singh can get it up and over the wall and beat Santosh Singh on this.
Jackie Chan certainly has the range for that. There comes the shot! What a goal and world-class strike from Jackie Chan Singh, tearing through the fabric of space and time, as Kashi has now put this game to bed.
For once, our judgment didn't precede our excitement, as Jackie Chan Singh has laid our words on a platter, as he has stuck true to his legendary qualities and, like you mentioned, put this game to bed. If there were 3 words to describe this goal, he won the free kick. But if there were 3 words to describe this goal, it was game, set, and match. Jackie Chan Singh has written his name all over this tie now, as he scores the winning goal for Inter Kashi, and I say this with about 2.5 minutes left of injury time.
If Jackie Chan's goal was an example of perfection, so were your words that you chose now. Game, set, match. I don't think Neroca is coming back from here on. If they do, I don't know. I probably would lose my voice.
I've said this a lot of times, and I'll say it again. If they manage to come back, our excitement will again precede our judgment.
Never say never, isn't it, Shatadru?
Absolutely. And coming from a neutral point of view, we would love to see those next 2 goals coming from Neroca's side, wouldn't we?
Oh, absolutely. There's no questions on that. I think, ever since I picked up the mic, I forgot whom I support. But then again, that always remains at your heart. But then when you take up the mic, I think everything changes. Yellow card coming out for David Simbo. That too late in the game. He's pretty unhappy because the way Neroca were playing, that was absolutely brilliant. One moment of madness and it changes it all.
Oh, absolutely. And Neroca will consider themselves unlucky, and they didn't take the chances when it came, and David Simbo has taken it upon himself to take this free kick, and that is not a bad one at all. But like you mentioned, and I've pointed this out to a lot of goalkeepers, that it's not when the goalkeepers are always diving around and making those one-handed saves. As this corner comes in, I'll get back to that, as that's a headed clearance. This is a chance now, but the referee's whistle has gone. And I was saying this, you'll see goalkeepers around the world diving around, making those one-handed saves, but it is those goalkeepers who make those tough saves look easy by positioning themselves beautifully. And on that occasion, Arindam Bhattacharya made a very, very good free kick look like an easy save for him.
I really wish we had more time to talk about this, because that's a wonderful point you mentioned. I mean, when you dive is when the ball's already out of your reach. But what happens if the ball's never out of your reach? That is where positioning comes in. And that is where Arindam Bhattacharya has been so good. And Jackie Chan Singh will like to try his luck from range again, but eventually will be denied.
And we have crossed the 7 minutes of injury time, as Jackie Chan Singh the ball seems to be a magnet on Jackie Chan's feet at the moment. It could be all Jackie Chan Singh. Magic at Kalyani Stadium was almost created. Jackie Chan Singh twisting and turning, as the referee's whistle has gone for a free kick, has it? It's gone for an offside. Do you believe it? An offside that high up on the pitch just goes to show how high those Inter Kashi player defenders were as well.
Yeah, goal changes things. I think that ball that Jackie Chan kind of shot, that fell on his wrong feet. Nonetheless, with this, we'll come to the end of this fixture. What an entertaining affair at Kalyani Stadium meets a befitting end, with Neroca FC going down, battling till the last moment by 1-3.
Oh, absolutely. It was a tale of 2 halves, but a tale that was ended and written by Jackie Chan Singh towards the end, and he will be a happy man, as Carlos Javier Santamarina and his soldiers move on to 10 points on the table, 3 points ahead of Neroca FC, 2 goals ahead in this match. And you can see the change, the huge shift in momentum that had happened in that second half. 55% ball possession goes Neroca's way, 24 shots taken, 11 on target, absolutely plundering the goal of Arindam Bhattacharya, who was a busy custodian in that second half. But nothing can take away the effort that Neroca had put in. Taro Kembram with 7 of those 24 shots taken by Neroca FC. Sushil Mitai scoring 1 of those 4. Chroma with 3. Mitai with 3. El Mitai with 2. And Shojul Bag with 2.
Well, it was a contest that kind of put the best to the test. Inter Kashi had 18 shots. Lamela took 4 of them, Jackie Chan with 3 of them, Mario Barco Villar with 3 of them, and Atsal, Tomba and Vikas Singh, they also tried their luck from range, taking a couple of shots each. 6 fouls from Neroca FC. Kroma, El Mitei, Rahman, Simbo, Surajit Sil and Tangwa having 1 foul each. And here's a closer look at Inter Kashi's fouls that they made. Asif, Mandi, Mario Barco Villar had 2 fouls each. Edmund, Hartley and Jordan Lamella had to commit a foul each in order to keep Neroca FC at bay. And now, before we head out tonight, here's a glimpse into the extraordinary fixture that unfurled ahead of us. Started on a sloppy note, picked up pace, then saw the men in blue coming back to life, eventually succeeded by some tremendous resurgence from the home side, and finally finishing in favor of Inter Kashi.
Yes, and that was the first goal. It seems a long time away in how this fixture has panned out. Jordan Lamella with that first goal, then stinging the hands of Arindam Bhattacharya or Shajul Bagh, then a beautiful chop from Mario Varela, and the finish from Jordan Lamella, exquisite to say the least. And it was seeming all into Kashi's way before Neroca FC started absolutely throwing the kitchen sink at Inter Kashi with that effort from Rohit down that right hand side. And then this effort beautifully cleared by Bijay, but on the follow-up was Sushil Mitai, who followed up on that ball and scored the first goal for Neroca FC. And the chances would keep coming, and the decision making in the attacking third wouldn't quite happen for Neroca, but that would keep them at bay. Inter Kashi trying everything at their disposal to keep the Orange Brigade away from their goal, as Mandi sees a yellow card, and that free kick once again saved easily by Arindam Bhattacharya. And then Jackie Chan Singh, who wins the free kick and scores it as well to put the smiles on the supporters of Inter Kashi. Then the magic from Jackie Chan Singh couldn't quite put it past the goalkeeper Santosh Singh, and with that Inter Kashi move on to 6th place in the I-League table, 10 points, and Neroca FC, more agony for them as they languish in the 10th position. And you can see that at full time it's a tie which Inter Kashi has done Neroca FC for, with those goals from Jordan Lamella and Jackie Chan Singh, with Sushil pulling one back for Neroca FC. But what an enjoyable evening this has been. An exciting, a thoroughly exciting evening with us in the studio with Rohit and me. And that is me, Shatadru Dutt, signing off with Rohit. And we will see you in for another exciting encounter in the I-League tomorrow.